the DJI Ronin S2. I've owned this gimbal for about 24 hours, and let me tell you, it does not disappoint. Let's get into it. Okay, so let me start by saying this is not a review. I've had this gimbal for less than a day, so this is going to be just a couple of my first impressions, and then I'm just going to roll some test footage for you that I shot last night right after I got it. Basically, I got the box, picked it up, brought it home, unboxed it, charged it up, and I went out and I shot this footage that I'm going to show you in a second. But let's start with a few of my first impressions. And I've used the previous Ronin S, the original, for actually a lot of my production work. I had a Ronin M in there for a while, sold that a few months ago, and I've been on the prowl for a new gimbal for a while. And then DJI announced the Ronin S2. And at first I didn't really think anything of it. I was more of an underslung gimbal kind of guy. But I started watching reviews on it and I was like, oh man, this thing can do a heck of a lot more than it looks like it can do, especially compared to its bigger, older brother. And so the very first thing that struck me when I took this out of the box is actually how light it is. I mean, it's not that light. You're still going to feel it if you carry it around all day at a wedding. But this is nice. Like, there's really not that much weight to it at all. If you hear that rattling, it's the lens mount, because I don't have the camera on here. I'm filming on my camera. So, but then like once you have the Raven Eye and the follow focus and all the cables and stuff, it does start to weigh itself down. But you can have the extension piece on here, and then you just take off the tripod mount, put it up here, and then the center of mass of the gimbal is a lot easier to manage once you have the handle up here, which I guess I should have rigged up for you, but whatever. The second thing I noticed was battery life. I had it on the charger for maybe an hour, and I got it almost all the way full, not quite, but I went out and I was shooting for a couple hours with it, and I knocked it down to maybe 3 bars out of 4. Like, this thing can go forever. You could charge it up and go and shoot an entire day at a wedding, and you shouldn't have to worry about it unless you're flying a really big camera on this thing. So, without any further ado, let's go and look at some of the test footage, because there's not a whole lot else I can tell you about this gimbal right now. I haven't had enough time to use it, but I am going to check back in after a few weeks, once I've really had time to break this thing in and dig into all the features and learn how it works. So let's go look at some test footage. I think you'll agree that was pretty impressive, or at least I thought so. But again, that's, what, out of the box for 2 hours, and I was able to shoot that with it. I'm really excited to see what I can do after a month with this incredible gimbal. So that's going to be it for today, but I will follow up on this with a more thorough review, or at least some more information that I think would be helpful to any prospective buyers with this gimbal. But so far, I'm incredibly satisfied with my purchase, and I don't think that you could go wrong with this gimbal for prosumer or even professional work. That's going to be it for me. Thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'd appreciate it. Trying to grow a channel here, but that was bad.